Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the auger belt on a Craftsman snowblower made by AYP. You will also see some of these snowblowers branded Poulan. And here's the machine, Craftsman. Like I said, you will see some of these exact same blowers branded differently. Even though I'm doing this on a Craftsman snowblower, if you have one that looks the same, it's probably the exact same belt you will need, and it will probably be the exact same procedure. However, always double check your part numbers before buying parts for your machine. Symptoms that will indicate that you need to replace the auger belt are that the snow will not shoot out the chute like it used to. It may not shoot out at all, and if it does, it might be weak. Also, if you hit deep snow, all of a sudden it stops blowing, but it will blow when the snow is very light and thin. So again, those are symptoms of that. Also, if you see or smell a lot of smoke coming out from under this cover, it's more than likely your belt is burned out. Now, the reason I'm replacing the belt on this snowblower today is because we did have some snow that was kind of slushy. The owner put away the machine and some of the snow was left down in the impeller down here. It froze up, and then when he went to use it, the belt got burned out a bit. Now, to get started in this repair, the first thing you need to do is remove the belt cover. There's going to be a small bolt on each side holding it. I've already got them loose. Now, just pull the cover right off. Now, what's happened to this belt, as I mentioned, the impeller was frozen, and you can see here that the belt is worn in one section. So it's very thin in this part here where the belt was around the pulley, but on the other parts of the belt, it is the exact proper width. Now, even though the belt isn't totally snapped in half, if you keep using a machine like this, what's going to happen is you're going to have excessive vibrations because the belt is uneven all the way around. And it's definitely going to slip where it's more narrow, where it was burned out. Now, since I'm working alone, I've got a stool back here to hold the machine once I split it apart. Now, you don't necessarily have to remove the whole chute assembly to do this repair, but I like to just remove it because it only takes like 20 seconds, and then it's not in your way when you take the blower apart and also when you put it back together. So what I'll do is just take off the 9/16 nut over here, and there's a washer under there as well. Now what I'm going to do is just move the whole assembly out of the way. Now, for safety purposes, it is recommended to disconnect the spark plug. This is to prevent accidental startups. So just disconnect the spark plug boot and just leave it far away from the plug. The next thing I'm going to do is get the auger belt right off the pulley here. And what I like to do is hold the belt on the pulley like this and then pull on the pull cord. And there we go. Now, on each side of the blower here, you're going to see a bolt with a 9/16 head. So you need to completely remove the bolt like this on each side of the machine. Now, before I remove the last bolt on these machines, I like to have my stool in the back. That's so that when the machine separates, it can lean on the stool. Also, as I'm removing the bolt, I hold the back end of the machine as well. And now you can let the machine separate itself. And now what I do is I try to just leave the machine the way it is without disturbing it too much. I usually reach in and just grab the belt right out. Now sometimes you just have to prop it up just a bit just to get the belt out. Then you just want to get that belt completely out and try to leave the front end of the machine in this position here, as you see right now. And here's what I mean by the wear area on the belt. Right where the pulley was. Now the belt part number is 532-408-010, or you can buy Stans 265-361. Now a lot of people, when they go to buy the belt for this machine, they end up mixing both of these belts because they're almost identical. However, this belt here in my left hand is a tiny bit shorter than this belt here. So if you buy this belt, and when you have the auger lever down, the belt is still loose and it's not blowing snow properly, it's because you got the wrong belt. In that case, you'd want to use this belt here, which is just a little bit shorter. So what I do now is I just get the belt on that pulley. And before I reassemble everything here, what you want to do is make sure you have this part over here that I'm zooming in on, which is kind of like a hinge. You want those parts together exactly like that before you put it back. If it has come apart on you, then all you have to do is line up these parts here on this pin here on each side. Now, one really critical thing here to do when you reassemble the machine here is to make sure that this pulley is moved up a bit like that, or else it's going to be getting caught in the pulley here. So what I usually do is I keep this down a little bit, and then that part moves out of the way. So I do that as I'm joining the parts together. To start with here, I'm just going to line things up. And again, this is how you want things in there. Now I am going to hold down the auger lever just a bit. I've got my bolt for here ready. And now I'm just going to join everything together. And you want these tabs to go underneath here, and get your belt in front of the idler pulley before you put the bolt in. So get a bolt in here as quick as you can, and also get this bolt in as quick as you can as well. So now what I'm going to do is tighten up the 2 bolts on a very low setting with my impact, and then I will finish up the tightening by hand. And now tighten up both bolts by hand. Just use common sense, and you want it fairly tight. Now what you want to do is get the auger belt on the pulley. If this is blocking the way, all you have to do is loosen the bolt here and move the belt finger. Otherwise, just leave it where it is. So start your belt like that on the pulley. And then what I do is I grab the pull cord and I pull it slowly. And now the belt's going to go right around the pulley. And what you want to do over here is make sure that the belt is in front of that plastic pulley, just like that. And now what you want to do is check for the tightness of the belt and how everything's working. And when I have the lever down, the belt is nice and tight. And it's important that you have tension here, or else your machine will bog down or not blow snow properly when you get into deep snow. Now, let's say you put a belt on and you don't have enough tension after you put the lever down. First, make sure that you did use the correct belt, as I showed earlier in the video. So if that's the case, what you want to do is check the auger belt linkage or cable, and then you would want to tighten that up. So if the belt was too loose, what I would do here is loosen the nut here, disconnect the spring, and then actually turn in this part as far up as I could, so that when I put down the lever, it puts more pressure on the belt. So those are all things you need to check after you install a new auger belt. And also, you don't want the belt to be too tight, because if it's too tight, the augers might still be turning when the lever is not engaged. So at this point here, I'm just going to put back the belt cover. And what you want to do is install the 2 small bolts here that hold the cover, and the one on this side. And now reattach the chute. Now what you'll need to do here is align the square piece of plastic here and this part here to the holes on top of the chute. Just like that. Now if your chute tilt spring has come off, this is how it goes back on. And you want this part here, right there. And on these machines, I do like to spray a bit of WD-40 down here. It just makes it a little easier to move the chute around. And you can also lube the parts here of the joystick for the chute. And I'll just reconnect the spark plug. And on this machine, I do have to put this plastic cover back on. All right, so I'm all done putting the belt back on. I'm going to take the machine out and try it out. So as you saw in the video, guys, it's not that hard to replace the auger belt. Again, you may have to replace the auger belt if your machine is not blowing snow properly or not blowing at all. And again, when you do this repair, as I mentioned in the video, make sure you have the correct belt. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please like it, share, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.